So, Swerzie.
Get it checked and I fade away. She get talking, she know I got paid today. This that rhyme shit I rap from day to day. Rappers mad cause DK on my 808s. Blow it back, you put close up on layaway.
Swerzie has always been well connected in the underground. It has friends like Zodiac, Fuck It, Isaiah Rashad, Baby No Money, and even for a while XXXTentacion. Not only this, but he's also gained an underground cult following due to how consistently he posts on SoundCloud. Swerzie has dropped over 13 projects and an enormous amount of singles, and still drops consistently to this day. So how did Swerzie get here? How did he meet these people? Is he even worth listening to? I'll be covering all this and doing a breakdown of his discography later in the video, so stay tuned. Sergio Velasco was born December 9th, 1997. Although he was originally born in Cali, Colombia, he eventually moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So how did he end up here? I'm gonna need you to follow with me for a bit. Our story starts in Cali, Colombia, where Swerzie was around 4 to 5 years old. Sverzie's mom had been going to college in Colombia for a while, and she had a friend who was named Adriana, who also had a little sister that was going to school in Texas. Adriana's sister ended up finding a guy who she loved and ended up moving to Chattanooga, Tennessee with him. In turn, Adriana herself ended up moving, which led, Swerzie's mom to do the same. Yeah, I know. Anyways, Swerzie had a pretty run-of-the-mill childhood and described himself as a quiet but very nice kid. Growing up, Swerzie was hugely influenced by artists like Lil Wayne, even stating that his name Swerzie came from Wheezy, and liking the weirdness of Wayne's name, he ended up swapping names with Sergio, and around came, Swerzie. His first bit of clout actually came from roasting people in Facebook comment sections, which he would do in order to get buzz in the area. He would comment generic roasts, like comparing someone to a cartoon character, calling them ugly, something to that effect. And this was pretty successful to help create some buzz around his name, get some people interested in his music, create some talk. After this first bit of buzz, Swerzie decided to set up an account on an app known as SoundCloud, and ended up becoming one of its earliest users. Swerzie's first ever song was made at 13 and was a remix of Lil Wayne's Bill Gates, which, in turn he called Steve Jobs. After this, he would release another remix of Rack City by Tyga. From here, he would drop music inspired by Lil B the Bass God consistently and start to grow locally. And even dropped a tape called Never Show My Face, which is listenable through DatPiff, but honestly is just more of a, monument than anything. On September 3rd, 2013, Swerzie ended up joining a collective known as Undo Lifestyle, which contained members like Shrub, Shot by Reggie, Cage Rocks. After this, Swerzie would continuously drop singles, continue to build a fan base, and also drop a tape teasing its next album called SWERZIANITY is Coming, which sadly I can't find, but I'm sure it's out there. It was until October 1st, 2015, where Swerzie would release his first full album called SWERZIANITY, which features some of the members from Undo listed previously. This project would end up doing pretty well and also continue to help Swerzie expand his catalog. Not only that, it would also start up a group most of us familiar with called Icy Rotten. It was also around this time where Swerzie would talk to an online small unknown artist called, XXXTentacion. At the time, they were setting up to do a song, but unfortunately, they weren't really able to work together. I'm not sure if they had a falling out or they just didn't really mesh well, but yeah, sucks. Also, RIP XXX. In 2016, Swerzie really started to expand upon his sound, switching from a generical, lyric-based style to a more unique sound. Not only that, but he would also drop his very first music video for a song called God Level, which sadly would end up unlisted because of his use of, the word. A month after the video dropped, he would end up dropping out of Undo and fully dedicating himself to the collective of his own, Icy Rotten. But after this, he would work towards collaborating with Midnight Society. In March, he would drop his own track called Welcome to Hell, produced by Virus and Antidote, which are both very prominent members of Midnight Society. Not only this, but he would also land 2 songs with Kamiata called MVP and Give Up, which Give Up would end up amassing over 3.3 million streams to this day and is still his most popular song, besides what we'll get to later. All of these songs are featured on a project called When I Die Throw a Party. This EP was insane. It was a really good EP. It was also a huge step in the right direction in terms of style and numbers and just everything. Not only this, but Swerzie would get an even bigger pool of producers by meeting a collective called Climate Gang. According to him, he had met these guys over through a group chat, and from there they just continued to send him beats, and all of the members like Zaya, Sparks, and Forenteo would eventually end up becoming members of Icy Rotten. And I'm not sure I've mentioned up until this point just how big of a part Downtime played in this whole thing, but Downtime is basically Swerzie's main and sole producer. And Swerzie has obviously worked with other producers. I'm just saying just how big of a role that Downtime didn't play. He's produced at least 75% of Swerzie's discography, if I had to guess. Maybe a little bit less, but still, you get the idea. Speaking of Downtime, around September in 2017, Swerzie and Downtime would finally meet in person in a show at Georgia. Apparently, Downtime was only supposed to be there for a few days, but he ended up staying a couple weeks. He says this because they just kept making more and more and more songs, according to Swerzie. And during this time, Swerzie released his first EP of the year and his third overall, Ice the World. This project was entirely produced by Downtime, and later this month, Swerzie would announce the official Icy Rotten roster, which consisted of Love, obviously Swerzie, Shot by Reggie, Jet Free, After the Party, Zodiac, Downtime, Shrub, Keandrian, Isaiah, and Climate Change. 2018 would be mainly a performing year, with Swerzie doing a lot of different shows in Chattanooga and other cities. And in March of the same year, Swerzie would end up getting his first and only job as a front desk staff member at a Hilton hotel. And, obviously, it didn't work there for long. Fast forward into 2019, and Swerzie would be featured on 2 tracks of Baby No Money's Recess album. Both tracks were called Doubles and Bunk. According to Swerzie on an Instagram live stream, he recorded Doubles in an airport with Downtime because their flight was delayed. The song was made as a joke at first, but Baby No Money liked it so much he put it on the album. Afterwards, he would get the opportunity to be a part of the Baby No Money tour. And even though the song was made as a joke, it's to this day one of Swerzie's biggest songs, or I guess just to say 2 of his biggest songs, because they both have over 16 million plays. In February, Swerzie would begin to work on his next EP, RotStar. The project was initially supposed to be released in summer, but was delayed until the next year, and to make up for this, he released a throwaway tape on a secondary SoundCloud page titled Rotten BASEDWORLD. In September, Swerzie's laptop would be stolen. This was a huge setback since he would lose most of his old songs. And now fast forward to 2020, and in March, it happened. Baby No Money's tour was canceled because of it. The same year, he would also release Nothing to Me, which was his first official song of that year, and also the first single from the collab tape with Yak and Downtime. And now it's apparent to anyone that Swerzie is a very, very diverse artist. He's done basically any kind of genre. He mixes and masters his own type of music. He does mainly stick to trap music, but he can do basically anything. It's obvious he puts a large amount of effort into each one of his songs, putting tons of time into different tracks. And not only that, from 2020 on, he's put out over 7 tapes and 1 album. But in terms of his history, that about wraps everything up. So all we got left now is music. For this ranking, since Sverzie's discography is so long, I'll just be giving my top 3 projects along with the top 3 songs I would recommend, and then for other projects, I'll just show you them going down chronologically into how I'd rate them. Starting at 3rd place, my pick is going to be Ice the World. Although it's short at 6 tracks, every track on this project is playlist worthy and also has different moods throughout the project that keep it refreshing. My top 3 tracks off this project are going to be Leandor, Heaven Sent, and Diamonds. And overall for me, this project is a 7 out of 10. Now keep in mind that a 5 out of 10 is an average for me, so in my eyes, that's pretty good. Coming in at 2nd place, my pick is going to be RotStar. RotStar really feels like an album, which is nice coming from Swerzie because I feel like he mostly drops tapes, which isn't a bad thing, but it can be annoying when it comes to ranking discographies. This whole tape shows strictly Sverzie's aggressive side, and it feels good. It doesn't really come off as like repetitive. Each track kind of feels unique and themed. My top 3 from this project go to Fade Away, Hate to Be It, and obviously Kick Door, featuring Apollo the Gemini and Zodiac. Overall, I'm feeling like a 7.5 out of 10. My personal favorite project from Swerzie has to go to When I Die, Throw a Party. It's only 6 tracks long, but basically has the starter kit for Swerzie. It has plenty of different moods and atmospheres on each track, and it's definitely not a mistake that this is one of his most popular projects. My top 3 from this project are Give Up, Geeked and Lost, and Be Afraid. Overall, I'd rate this like an 8 out of 10. Based off its 6-track playtime, I think it could be higher, but it's still pretty short, so I'd give it like 8 out of 10. And just in case you were interested, my other rankings for all the other projects that he has, because he has plenty of projects out, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the description. I thought about doing it on screen, but I don't even think it'd fit on screen. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check the description. But yeah, and that just about wraps this whole video up. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you got any other artists I can do this on. I'm down to do this on pretty much whoever, as long as there's like, like some kind of story to tell. Obviously, I don't want to do this on like, you know what I'm trying to say. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting my content. I've basically gained like 10 subs this past week, which is pretty good. I'm hoping to continue the growth and continue getting bigger and putting out more videos, etc., etc. And like I said with the upload schedule, I don't think it's going to be every 3 days. It might be like every 4 or 5, just because of how hard these videos are to put out. How hard they are to put out. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. It's been Xtiv, and peace out. Thanks. Bye.